Hi, this is Kendra with Trust TV, and I'm back with another video. I wanted to do a quick video because I was watching this video on Instagram about this Mexican woman who was just not understanding why black people said that what's happening to them is not our fight. And we want to explain to her that we mean that we're not protesting. It's not really a battle for citizenship because we are the American Indians. We are natural born citizens of the United States. We do not have to worry about deportation, or should not have to worry about deportation, because we do not belong to any other continent or any other country or any other landmass other than America. And so, with that being said, we also are not protesting because we understand the power that be. Trump and all of the supporters and all those who are helping him are looking to achieve a goal to declare martial law. So I wanted to find out, because they like to redo things in history and implement fake things that they had made up, or actually turn of events that helped them to get into power. They will try to recreate that circumstance again in America to keep the status quo, them prevailing over black communities. So I had to look up to figure out what is going on and why are they trying to use us out of anybody, because they could declare martial law several times just because of any circumstance. Why do they specifically need black people to be the ones to declare martial law? So I Googled, what events could have happened. So it says, the historical example of using black people to declare or justify martial law are complex and primarily tied to the Reconstruction era. Now, if anybody's unfamiliar with the Reconstruction era, that is the Great Reset, where white people who were impoverished, peasant, poor white slaves, was forcing themselves using the KKK to get into power through treachery, Jim Crow laws, lynchings, killings, burnings, and rapings, in order to buy fake outrage that they created. Whether they've done something to a black person, killed them, maimed them, killed their children or something, and then they lie on the black person, make it seem like it was their fault, and they would go on a rampage of killing and tearing through black cities, towns, and states. And so I wanted to just come on here and figure it out with you guys, why and what happened in history. So anyway, going back to what they were saying, let's go. A Reconstruction era following the U.S. Civil War. While black people weren't used to declare martial law, the aftermath of the Civil War saw martial law imposed in the South. And black communities and individuals were often the reason given for its imposition, or the justification for its continuation, right? So they're going to use these things as a way to imprison us, to wreak havoc in our lives, to keep the remaining provisions prevailing, right? The Reconstruction era, after the Civil War, the South was under military occupation and martial law, meaning that they can break into your house and kill you at random, not care about due process, deport you, kill your family, and that is to rid itself of the black problem that's in America, because we understand that this so-called black problem for white people has happened before. White people realize without immigrants that their population is smaller. They need to increase their whiteness, right? Or them being so-called white, their pale skin, their Slavicness. They need to increase that. That's why they're going to get the Afrikaners. They're getting rid of the immigrants because their presence is not needed anymore. They want more people like them to continue white supremacy. And so because these Mexicans, Latinos, and Hispanics they're not usable in whatever the white man agenda is, and I guess to get it back to when Reconstruction era, because they see that black wealth is growing again. They see that black people are going to be rising up again in power and in wealth. So they need to dismantle this growth before it can start, and this is how they are doing it. And they need to enforce martial law to be able to get back the control they feel like they're losing. So anyway, so it goes after Civil War, under military occupation, martial law. partly to protect the newly freed black population and enforce. So they're going to try to say that they're trying to do this for us. Remember, Trump got on there declaring martial law, claiming that it was for us. We wanted police states. We wanted more police. This is a lie. You see what he says right here? They partially to protect newly freed black population. So they're going to try to come into the guides that they're doing it for our sake when they're actually doing it to hurt us, right? You see it with your own eyes, what they tried to lie and say. They policed these states and declared martial law to protect us from ourselves or protect us from white citizens and any other immigrants, and it's a lie. They're actually doing this to keep the remaining provisions prevailing. They're doing this to mess up black businesses and black communities, black so-called us being black, because we're not black, but I mean American Indians, us coming together and building a community amongst ourselves and getting ourselves back successful where we used to be. They're trying to dismantle that, right? Let's keep going. Black clothes were implemented, right? These black codes implemented black clothes to rise of the white supremacist groups like the Ku Klux Klans created instability and violence. Thank you. They're trying to create instability and violence. And there are going to be more Klans members coming in together, right? History repeating itself unless we as black peoples stand up again. And this time we're not going to... we shall overcome it. We're going to fight back with the same force that they have written against us. You know, in the name of Jesus Christ. Even Jesus said, sell your garments and pick up a sword. We love everybody, but we will protect our families at any cost. And that's just what it has to be, because nobody can sit back and just take a beating all the time and just say, we forgive you. That's not going to happen this decade. That's not going to happen in the name of Jesus Christ, because God, the Most High God, did not say, he let Israel know that in the land of their captivity, he will lift them up and he will rebuild them, and we are going to be built. I see what is happening right before my eyes, even with our people. Slow and steady, but slow and steady wins the race. We are coming together and doing what we have to do. Even us sitting in is letting me know that black people are on a different level from where we were, and we are willing to fight back by any means. And so if you don't, these black codes also, they're trying to get rid of their black problem. One of the things that they're going to try to do is reclassify us again, right? Because they know that we are the American Aboriginals. They know that we are the American Indian. They're fully aware of who we are, fully. They know that we are even if we're mixed with brown skin, Spanish, Portuguese, Irish, Scottish, brown skin Europeans, they know that more all of us, more than all of us, you know what I'm saying, about, like, I think Dane Calloway said 98% are fully Aboriginals to America. We have that Aboriginal blood running through our veins, and they do know this, right? So again, if you keep reading, right, the stifle, we're not caring about voting, right? Okay, so creating instability and violence, which was often used as justification for maintaining martial law. So they are going to have white counterparts, immigrants, anybody that's willing to follow them, white supremacists, to wreak havoc. They just found a black man lynched on a pole, some 50-year-old man. They're still doing these things, and they're doing this stuff on purpose, right? But God will prevail. We have to trust in the Lord with all our heart and lean not on our own understanding. When I realized that I surrendered myself to God, his help is so amazing. That's why I fear no evil. Whatever's happened is meant to happen. And through the grace of God, he will get us through it. He has gotten David through it, defeating Goliath. These are just Goliaths, and we are David, and we will defeat it. Matter of factly, in the name of Jesus Christ, believe me, we will defeat them. And so don't you worry about any of what's going on. That's why I say don't entertain it, but nevertheless, we need to understand what, in fact, they're trying to do. Enforcement acts. The federal government passed an enforcement act in 1870, in 1871 to combat these insurgent groups to protect black voting rights. Lies. They enforced these groups because we saw what they did in Florida. Okay, they kept it enforced in police so that black people were not able to protect themselves against white vigilantes. That's why the white people were able to go into these towns, shoot them up, and bomb them. You understand me? Because the white police officers were allowing it. So these martial law enforcement, all that stuff that they're lying, right? They're just using these as a way to keep black people from arming themselves and protecting themselves. All right? It tells you about the New Orleans massacre, right? And if we were protecting our own communities, there would be no massacre other than it would be us fighting it back against our enemies, right? In 1866, violence against black citizens in New Orleans led to a declaration of martial law, first by General Absalom, I'm assuming, I don't know how to say this name, Baird, and then extended by General Ulysses Grant, President Andrew Johnson. All these people were just helping out the agenda. They make it seem like it's to protect you. It was in fact to keep you from protecting yourself. The justification for martial law was the violence and resistance toward black people, to keep them, again, in the status quo, impoverished, taking all their land and all their resources and making it so that they're not able to provide for their family and protect themselves at the same time. Displacing black folk was a part of a lot of this, reclassifying them as well. It was also taking children out of the home, locking up the men, all these many different things that they were using, getting us distracted by silly things. All these little things they were using as a way, like the Pied Piper effect, while they play the fiddle, and they lead you astray mentally. So I want people to understand what they are trying to do and why they need us to declare martial law. It is to create black unrest, is to create black confusion, to stop black businesses from growing, to stop our children from flourishing, to stop us from flourishing. And I rebuke it in the name of Jesus Christ, and I return to sender with holy fire. Every weapon that they have formed against us shall not prosper, whether past, present, or future. Anything they conspired, any decade-old vendetta or decade-old laws or treaties or contracts that they have tried to place upon us, in the name of Jesus Christ, we return it to sender with holy fire. In the mighty name of Jesus Christ, no weapon formed against us shall prosper, and every tongue that rises against us in judgment is condemned already, in the mighty name of Jesus Christ. That as we walk through the valley of the shadow of death, we fear no evil, for God is with us. Thy rod and thy staff do comfort us. And best believe, and if you don't believe in God, you're silly, because who do you think got us through this? They have been trying to kill us for decades and have not been able to. They have been trying to wipe us out through our food, through us killing ourselves, through poisoning our water supply, declaring martial law, Tuskegee experience, all type of medical experiments, Jesuit oaths of killing our babies, causing them to be mentally ill, just several massacres upon massacres, and yet we still rise and we grow. We are fruitful and multiply, subdue and replenish the earth. That lets you know that God, the Most High God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, is working on your side. Jehovah Jireh being our provider, He is there, standing there, protecting us and shielding us from all evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. Because no weapon formed against us, no weapon fastened against us, no weapon formed against us will prosper, and every tongue that rises against us in judgment is condemned to the pit of hell, in the mighty name of Jesus Christ. Y'all stay up, stay blessed, understand what they're trying to do. Put God first above all else. Peace out. Bye.